So this is what we're gonna do.
Yes, sir.
And we're still not there, so let's get out.
Hey guys, this is Tori and Terry with Marriage Talk Tuesdays with Tori and Terry. Want to welcome you guys to the show tonight. We got a great show planned for you guys, and just as we always do, want to give you an opportunity to start having watch parties and sharing, and you know what you do with your phones and your computers. So we're gonna give you a moment to do that, and in the meantime, just listen to some of our songs.
Okay, so I'm back in what you call.
Okay, you guys ready?
No.
No.
So did you hear I said?
Well, shared.
Back in what you
So where are we sharing?
call. So okay, so you wanna you can either do you guys have groups?
You guys can still do that one.
Okay, so then do a watch party and then we do a watch party. Okay, so yeah, I can't challenge.
Really?
Somebody doesn't like that prostitute. I did the other show we did too, so it probably pretty much good.
Hey guys, so we're here with Team McCoy tonight. We got Dexter and Chelsea in the house. Y'all want to say hi?
Howdy, howdy.
Hey guys.
So we were giving them a moment to get their Facebook friends on and everything. So tonight we're going to be talking about how do you communicate expectations of your marriage with your fiance. And since Team McCoy here, we call them Team McCoy even though they're engaged. Almost. They get married soon. But anyway, we call them Team McCoy tonight. And the question that came in, it was perfect since we had an engaged couple on the show tonight. So you guys want to introduce yourself?
Well, I'm Dexter, and
I'm Chelsea.
so yeah, we have been engaged for a year
And some
and
change.
some change now. And yeah, so we're both from Houston,
Yeah.
and I'm sure we'll tell our story soon.
Yeah. Although you and I have some ties on the East Coast, though.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yes.
Which is great.
And then you and I had a little bit of ties on the
Yes.
West Coast.
Yes,
I used
West
to live in
Coast.
Oakland.
Yes, Kelly. Hi, I'm Terry. Thanks for joining us tonight.
Yeah. So we're gonna go over pay some bills right quick, as we say. So just before we get started, just want to I put this announcement out here before, but want to do it again. We're looking for a radio station / social media intern. So if you guys are out there and you're interested in this type of position, unfortunately, all of the responses that every last one of them that we had before were clinical, were related to our line of business. But we actually need someone that's going to help us manage the radio show and also manage our social media platforms. So if you guys are interested, you know anyone that may be interested, someone that's in college maybe that's communications major and want to get started on the ground floor here, have them or you send us an email at ifwcmc1@gmail.com, and we'll respond accordingly to that. Thank you again for joining us in our new home. I keep saying new home, but we're hey guys, you what you doing? Okay, but anyway, we've been here a couple of months now, so I don't know if we can still say our new home, but it's gospelradionation.com. So if you're in your cars or if you're at home on your computers and you don't want to watch us, you can actually listen to us live on the radio. And if you guys have anything to share about your marriage or your relationship and are interested in being a guest on our show, send us an email as well. Let us know, what you're going through, or let us know what questions that you have for us that we can answer live on air. And the email address, once again, is ifwcmc1@gmail.com. Or you can go to our website as well. You can reach us through there at iforeverwill.com. I say been saying this every week. We know it's early, but get your tickets for the Kingdom Love Valentine's Weekend Party and Marriage Conference, which is February 14th and 15th at the Elegant Hall in Humble, Texas. Tickets are available on our website at iforeverwill.com, or you can get them on the Facebook page here. So with that, just want to let you guys also know, we just, as you know, we did a double hitter Tuesday tonight. So we just left Katie and was on New Wine Talk. So we want to give a shout out to them tonight for having us on.
Thank you for having us. We enjoyed ourselves. It was a lot of fun.
Yes, we did. And special thanks to Lady Gail Johnson. So not in addition to her hosting the Wine Talk, New Wine Talk, she's also, I don't know if you guys can see this, but there's a little flyer. She's having a community event this October 12th from 8:30 a.m. to 4:30 p.m. And it's entitled
Fight Like a Girl, Fight Like a Girl, yeah.
So, and it is Fight Like a Girl.
Fight Like a Girl on Saturday.
So, women, if you've been involved in any domestic situations, or you're trying to, better yourself, if you need, are they giving away clothing?
Oh my God, beautiful clothes. She said she has some clothes with the tags still on it, purses
with
jewelry
shoes.
And stuff. They're doing makeup for women.
Yeah.
Really, really uplifting event.
And they have special guest speakers and all. So if you're interested, the address is 312 North 6th Street in LaPorte, Texas. You can also register at www.stopbythehill.org. That's STOPBYTHEHILL.org, or go to Eventbrite at Fight Like a Girl. You can get your free tickets there. Doesn't cost you guys anything. So once again, Lady Gail Johnson is hosting that, and it's Fight Like a Girl community event. So in addition to all of these announcements, if you guys, you guys know that we announced last week that we're doing a show at Sugar's.
Yes.
Cajun Cuisine and Bar, October 29th at 9 p.m. Since this is October, and October is recognized as the Domestic Violence Awareness Month, the entire event is going to be dedicated to domestic violence awareness. So we're going to have live entertainment there. We got Jay Will, if you guys know him. He's the up-and-coming Christian rapper. We have an awesome panel of domestic violence experts featuring Mark and Marie Smith of Live 24/7.
Yes.
We have evangelist and author Carolyn Hunter, author of the book From a Victim to a Voice, and also Pastor Derwin Silveran. I hope I pronounced that right, Silveran. And they'll all be answering your questions regarding domestic violence situations, and if you were in one, maybe you may want to speak. Show your voice, just like Carolyn said, come from a victim to a voice. So join us there.
Support, yes.
Exactly. Join us there. Show your support. You never know who's going through what in their relationships and all. So this is a perfect opportunity for you to come out and get some delicious food and enjoy entertainment, as well as what we do. We're teachers here, so or coaches, if you want to call it. But definitely come out for a good time.
And a date night. It's a date night.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Exactly. So join us there at 9 p.m. at 3424 FM 1092 Suite 290, Missouri City. And also help us get the word out. Those that went last month, again,
A lot of fun.
they had a lot of fun.
I hate that we missed it.
I know.
You won't miss this one.
It's on
Front row
calendar.
seats.
There we
Yeah.
go. There we go.
And as always, if you guys want to call in, I encourage you to add your comments. So if you want to call in, the call-in number is 346-320-2103.
That's 346-320-2103. Give us a call.
All right, since my wife wants to talk tonight, I'm gonna let her do the introductions and
That'd be great. You got it, all
and
right.
we're gonna let her lead in prayer like we always do. All right.
Father God, Lord Jesus, thank you for getting us here safely.
Yes,
We
sir.
are almost through this day completely, and we just ask that you be with us tonight. Those that are listening, those that are watching, you show up and show out, Lord. We ask that you decrease us and you increase you, Lord. Let them hear from you. And we just give thanks for our guests tonight, and we just pray that we're all on one accord in you and that we're pleasing you with this, Lord. So reveal yourself. We give thanks in advance. We praise your name, your sweet name. Amen.
Amen. Amen.
So yeah, we got you guys. This is the cutest couple. I swear, they get the couple of the month, the year award. They are the cutest. One of my favorites. It's Dex and Chels. They have their own YouTube channel too.
They do.
So
Yeah, they do.
adorable.
Yeah.
Cool
I just
YouTube channel.
love them. I love. You guys know that. Those that know me, so they're getting used to me. I'm crazy about them. But anyway, we have featured them on our site, our website, as well as they are on the wedding, The Knot, our page, The Knot. They've got engagement pictures as well, and then also Wedding Pro and Affinity Wedding. So we have put them on our stuff. I had called or texted Dexter and was like, can I put you guys on it? So, yeah, I'm talking to Chills. Yeah, so I got the approval, y'all. So they are on our pages. And tell us what sparked the engagement. How did you? I mean, you can look at the pictures, but I'll give you a tip. It was like in this, I want to say this park or kind of a wilderness kind of feel. And he had these crates with these black and white photos and candles. Am I doing okay?
Mhm.
In these
Yeah.
shadow boxes. And so they were leading up, and I guess like with flowers, leading up to this actual like altar of crates with these shadow boxes of pictures, memories, and that's just stair stepping, taking you through memory lane of, their dating. And then they're just adorably dressed. He's in a tuxedo. She's in a beautiful dress and heels, a navy blue dress. She just looks adorable. Her
That took
hair
work,
is
didn't it?
flowing. And he proposed to her, and it's so cute because you've got this nature, you've got these trees. It was so organic and it was very authentic. And can you just tell us a little bit about that?
About the
How you
engagement?
came up with that idea?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, so Chelsea, one of Chelsea's favorite shows is The Bachelor and The Bachelorette.
Yeah.
And so with that, when I thought about how I could propose and what would be meaningful to her,
Mhm.
why not model it after something she loves? All the love stories that she loves to watch. And so I had a lot of help from her sister. We
Oh,
went,
sister,
scoped
yes,
out
sister.
a number of locations. I knew I wanted to do it outside so there'd be some scenery. And so I ended up finding a golf course in Missouri City to go do it at. Beautiful scenery. But to get her to the
Yeah.
engagement and not know what she was going to
Yeah.
do. So something you have to know about Chelsea, and everyone who knows Chelsea knows, she is the least formal person ever. She's very casual.
Yes.
And we're like, there's,
Night and day.
yeah,
Yes.
night and day, night and
Yes.
day. I'm a very, button down type of person, and she's, let's do t-shirts and some yoga pants.
Right.
And so I told her that she was going to be coming to an induction ceremony for my fraternity.
Oh, good
And
one.
so that required that she got dressed.
Yeah.
Also, she straightened her hair, got her nails done. Her mom took her to get her nails done. Oh, she was incredible, breathtaking. But so she came, and to set the scene, I had signs printed up that actually looked professional, that had a bunch of different our aims for my fraternity on it. And so as she's walking up, the signs slowly change into quotes about us. And when she comes around the corner, there she sees me with the rose and like you described so incredibly, the pictures of all of us representing different stages in our relationship. And the funny thing is, we're about a mile away from the place where I recall first laying eyes on her.
Oh,
And
wonderful.
when I felt that God really told me there was something special about this woman here.
Did you have any indication that he was about to do anything?
So I knew that it would be happening sometime soon,
Mhm.
but I didn't know that was the day. And I really didn't know when he knew I had just straightened my hair, and on this particular day earlier on, it had been raining.
One of those days here,
Mhm.
yeah, I know.
It had been raining all day. And so when I come up and I call him and I say, "Where are y'all?" And he goes, "Oh, we're outside." I go, "This event is outside and my hair is straight and then you can't come out there?" I'm like, the humidity, everything's just gonna make it so bad. So I'm already in this mindset of like, I'm so annoyed with him right now. He already knows. And so when I walk out and I start
And
seeing,
then I was trying to stall because we weren't ready yet.
right, we weren't ready yet. So his mom and aunt and cousin were helping him set up.
Mhm.
They weren't ready yet, and so he asked me to like stop by the store, and then he calls me back. He's like, "Wait, no, never mind." And it was just this big thing, but I didn't know until after when he told me. So it was perfect. It was great.
So she started complaining about her hair. Were you like, you just don't know what's going on?
I get through.
I'm sure.
I'm
What
laughing.
about when,
I'm laughing.
when the quotes, when the signs started changing?
Yes. So one of his things that he absolutely wanted me to do was cry during the engagement. So here's the
Like, I
thing,
want
though.
the tears.
He wanted to go down
Yes.
with that.
Yes.
But here's the thing. As soon as I saw the signs start turning to say like our names and like different things like that, I knew. So I was getting my heart and my brain prepared. So like I just started like shaking and my heart was going at that point. And so by the time I got to him, I kind of knew, okay, something's up.
Yeah.
You kind of know it's coming and stuff. So it was just like pure excitement. It wasn't like, you know, the emotions of like, oh, I'm gonna cry, but yeah, it was great.
And then you're trying to play it off like, okay, it's happening. Do I let it on?
Right.
Do I know that I know?
Right.
Yeah, it was good. It was great.
Wow.
Yeah.
So what's your date?
Go ahead.
December 31st,
New Year's Eve.
2019.
New Year's Eve.
All right.
Almost.
Just in the nick of time to catch Uncle Sam, right?
Listen, everyone has been talking about that. I'm
Oh,
like,
yes.
but you know, it's one of those dates you can't forget it.
Never.
And now we
Never
have an
will.
excuse for if we get invited to a party and we possibly don't want to go.
Hey, everybody.
It's our anniversary.
It's
so
our
we're-
anniversary. Or we could go.
Or we
So,
can go.
y'all are already celebrating?
Yeah, exactly.
Plan.
It's both
Yeah,
ways.
totally go on somebody else's tab.
Yeah.
Exactly.
great.
Exactly.
It's great.
Exactly.
Wow.
Mhm.
So yeah, I wanted to ask. I wanted people to hear because it's just adorable. And this is my first time hearing the story. Like I said, I saw the pictures and I wanted to know the story behind the pictures. So tell us what do you think is the main driving force that has really kept you guys together? I mean, that you know it's each other and that you're ready to do this for life. What is it that you know for sure?
I think we have the same goal and same values and all that stuff. So one thing about us, we grew up in church together.
Okay.
So we've known each other since we were about 12 years old.
Mhm.
And so the good thing is when we reconnected, it was never a thing of who are you, what you believe in. We already knew.
Mhm.
So that's something that always bonded us. And even when I moved back to Houston, we got together, we both were like, okay, we need to find our church home together. Like that was our main focus. And we went around and we laid on the church that we were at. But I think just knowing that no matter what, we both are putting God first in this
Exactly.
and
Amen.
continuously doing what we need to do, not only for us, but for ourselves and making sure that this works out. Like, this is it.
Please
That's
tell
why I
me.
just love that.
Yeah.
I love
So knowing that your marriage is based on Christ and is founded on Christ, please tell me you're taking premarital counseling.
Yes. So we actually started doing that before we even got engaged.
Good plan.
So I actually
Great.
think it's probably important to like give the background and history of our coming together.
Go ahead.
Maybe.
Yeah,
Yes.
no, tell us,
So
come
I
on.
mean, we
It's your
did. Chelsea was my first girlfriend in high school. I was her first boyfriend. We dated then, and then she didn't realize what God had sent her,
Uh-oh.
and she broke my heart,
Uh-oh.
my
Uh-oh.
poor little heart. But no, and so we went our separate ways. We, dated other people, but I think it was crazy because when the time came for us, we reconnected. We had gone our separate ways. We weren't talking all that much anymore,
Mhm.
but we were both. Our hearts were in the same place. We felt that God had impressed upon us there's something more purposeful you need
Yeah.
to be pursuing here.
Right.
And so it was crazy. I was out in Oakland on a business trip and didn't know she lived out there, but I
Really?
posted, "Hey, I'm in Oakland. Anybody out here, hit me up." And she slid into my DMs on Instagram. Hey,
Yeah.
hey, you here? You here, baby? Right.
Is that
Oh,
But anyway, she,
Were you in college now? Or you were,
no, this was after. So I lived in DC. I moved back here to Houston. It was my
Hey,
first
you, right?
business trip out that way. Mm-hmm.
HU in the house.
Yes, there we go. And so
no, be you.
BU is where I went to school, but he said HU.
Oh.
Yeah.
Oh, I thought you went to Howard.
No.
I thought it was no, be you.
Yeah, I went to school in Boston, worked in DC. For
Oh.
a few years.
Yeah, he was just in
When we were
DC.
talking the other night, I could have sworn you said Howard.
Oh no. There
Oh,
was
okay.
someone who walked in the restaurant who.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
That's what it was. Okay.
But
My bad.
But so
Okay.
no, but I was out there. She contacted me, but again, keep in mind our hearts were still in the same place. We were looking for something more substantive. So anyway, she wasn't there when I was there, but we found out she was coming back to town from her business trip on the day that I was leaving to head back to Houston. So we said, hey, we might have some time to link up at the airport.
Okay.
So if we see each other, it'd be great. We can catch up. So I'm waiting on her to text me, tell me what gate she's at so I can meet her. She walks off of the very airplane that I'm getting ready to get onto to
Yeah.
head back home to
Yeah.
Houston.
Fortuitous.
And it was like, what? How does that happen? And
intentional guy?
Right,
Fortuitous.
right.
Yeah.
And we
Wow.
sat there, talked for probably about 20, 30 minutes, and we've been talking every day since. But when we started seriously having the conversation about us,
Mhm.
we were direct in that we're looking for something substantive here. I said that to her, and she affirmed is that we're not just trying to not trying to play games. And it was like that. We were
Yeah,
both there.
that's- We did the exact
Yeah.
thing. We did the exact same thing.
Yeah. Mhm.
You just know that you know yeah.
And so on that, we started intentional development. We started reading Gary Chapman's 5 Love Languages.
Okay.
We read several other of his books, but we also started premarital counseling with a professional therapist before we even got engaged.
Wow.
So that was
Yeah.
huge for us. And so we've been very intentional along the way.
Yes.
That is awesome.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, and the reason I ask about that is because we encounter so many couples that have reached the end of their rope, and they could have only been married 5 months, 6 months.
Mm-hmm.
But the thing is, they didn't take premarital counseling, so they don't know each other.
Yeah.
After the wedding, you wake up, and we joke about this all the time on the show, but after the wedding, it's like, who are you? Because you didn't take the time to learn who each other were before
Yeah.
you actually said, I do.
Yeah.
And so having known this, the questions I had in my head, or I can't even use them now,
Yeah.
because one of the things I was going to ask, we were just, as you know, from another show just now, and one of the things was like we were talking about there's so much emphasis placed on the wedding and the pomp and circumstance of getting married, and no one actually takes time to focus on the actual marriage.
Yeah.
What's going to happen after we get married? Who's going to do the cooking? Who's going to do this? Who's going to do that?
Yeah.
Finances.
Mhm.
Who's paying the bill? So those are things that are important. So have you guys? You have a vision? You have a plan?
Yes. So that was a big thing because I don't know what the statistic for sure is, but one of those things when I said finances, finances is something that is breaking up marriages right now. And so-
Communications, infidelity, and finance.
There you go. And so, it did, going through counseling, it did force us to have a lot of tough conversations and figure out, I thought I knew Dexter, but, learning more about his upbringing and
Mhm.
how his parents interacted with each other and how my parents interacted with each other and what we wanted to bring from their marriages into our marriage and what we didn't want to bring into it. And so thinking about all that stuff and having some sort of a plan in place and making sure that, hey, let's try to stick to this plan and stick to how this is going, and learning also sounds weird, but learning how to fight.
Mhm.
We're
Fight
gonna
fair.
get
Right,
exactly we're
right.
gonna get in these arguments. It's gonna happen, and there's been so many times where, especially right after we did the counseling, there's so many times where we would say, okay, remember when she said that we need to do this when we fight, and I need my space and you need this. So
I
Yeah.
swear, you got, it's just like they sat through one of our
I know.
counseling sessions,
Yeah.
or a few of them,
Yeah.
because everything that you're saying is not only true, but we say it to couples all the time.
Mhm.
These almost exact words, you
Yeah.
know, and it's about not just hearing them. I love what you just said. Is remember what she said? Implementing.
Yeah.
You have to
You have to
implement
implement
these.
And it's
Yeah.
hard.
Yeah, it is. No one
It's
said
easy to talk about when things are great.
Yeah.
exactly.
But when it's like, okay, that's when you die to self.
Yeah.
You know, that's
And
what-
asking those tough questions, you know, you don't, you know, that's how you can tell if it's real or not,
Yeah.
or if that person's going to stay. Because once the tough questions start getting answered, and then they start bowing out or whatever, and you're like, okay,
You want to go for this?
yeah,
Yeah.
exactly, exactly.
Exactly.
Wow. So that's amazing. So we're looking at, you won't see it often. This is an anomaly here.
Yes, it is.
We're looking at a perfect premarital couple here because they're doing all the right things. You guys are doing all the things that we teach about when my wife and I conduct our marriage ministry. You guys are doing the things that we talk about when we go into counseling, you know, with
Right.
either married couples or pre-married couples. So tell us something we don't know. Since you guys,
I just want to commend it. I mean, you know, I'm gonna just forever be just tell me how proud I am of you. But the thing is that you guys are doing it biblically, sound word for word. You're putting. I mean, not that you're daring God per se, but you're really following His word and that's where I was when I decided that I was gonna say yes or whatever. And at that place where I wanted that is that the word does not lie, and it's so simple.
Mhm.
We are so busy choosing our way instead of God's way. And so it's when I really realized, like, what if I just decided to really just do what the word said?
Yeah.
What if?
Mhm.
And because He's not a liar, and He's the same today, tomorrow, and thereafter. And so it's very simple. And it actually takes all of the responsibility off of us
Yeah.
because we don't have to work, try to figure out. If we're just going by what the word says, it's the blueprint. It's right there.
Mhm.
And so His blueprint says that, it will be forever. I
Mhm.
forever will, right? So with that and knowing that, I mean, what is, like my husband said, tell us something that we don't know. What did you guys, because at your age where you're at, this is not, like my husband said, you're an anomaly.
yeah.
This is not common.
Yeah.
So I know you shared with us, that you had the same background of growing up and that foundation of, church home and all and God. But what is it do you think that's different about you two? Because you're both millennials, and I feel like I don't know if it's a bad
Are they
word.
millennials?
We're millennials.
We're
Yes.
millennials.
Yeah.
So
Okay.
we're
You're not
definitely
my
millennials.
generation.
And the thing is that so many of them are so afraid. I think the baseline is really fear. They'll give it all this other stuff, but it's really fear of failing.
Yeah.
And you guys are at that age too, where a lot of those kids saw divorce growing up.
Yeah.
Nobody wants to fail. You guys are getting your money, you're getting your life on, and so nobody wants to fail. And so I think that's the fear. But what is it that you can tell us from your perspective as millennials who have friends even, that date or baby mama? I mean,
Mhm.
that I think y'all came up with that, yeah.
The term.
Yeah. No. Yeah.
So tell us though, what is it about you guys that you think, not that you're just, all
Yeah.
that, but that stands apart
Mhm.
from your friends? Not putting anyone down, of course,
Yeah.
we certainly
Yeah.
don't judge others, but we just want to know,
Mhm.
we're just curious. It's
Yeah.
a generation gap for sure.
Wanna go ahead? Go.
Go ahead.
Well, I mean,
You both
so
can go ahead.
and I don't think there's anything super special about us, other than we're just
Believe.
using the tools and resources and the examples that our parents set for us.
Yeah.
And to be real, the definition of insanity is doing the same thing over and over again, expecting a different result.
Mhm.
I know, and I'll speak for me, I was living a different sort of lifestyle when I lived on the East Coast that was not aligned with, the values that I was raised with, right? And it also wasn't purposeful in where I knew I wanted to go and where I was being led to go in my life, right? And so with that, I had to do something different.
Yeah.
And the other part about us coming together and knowing that we wanted to be, real intentional about where we were going,
Mhm.
we also said from the jump, we need to remove sex from our relationship. And so with that, it's like, because we don't,
You
the
have to
lines don't need to
understand.
get blurred. It
Yes.
doesn't need to be a Band-Aid that we
Blurred
put
lines.
over, issues.
Mhm.
But really, that has forced us to learn how to communicate with one another and have some real deep, uncomfortable conversations. And as a result of that, in our prayer life, in trying to, we discovered a church together where we are able to serve together
Oh,
and
yes.
taking that to the next level. It's been incredible. It really has been.
You know, we just so on Monday evenings, every other Monday evening, I attend this men's group,
Mhm.
and where it's called When Men Hurt.
Mhm.
And the thing is, I mean, we actually brought up the fact about being absent,
Mm.
and I believe it's important, And when I was in my sustaining period, it was after I had already gotten a divorce, and I was dating around, and I wasn't finding that right person and all. And I mean, you can't just keep coming to God and asking for stuff, but you're not doing the right thing.
Yeah.
And so I don't know if it was God that was telling me to become abstinent, but something just said, I had a conversation with God, and it was like, okay, I'm gonna do that, and I got deeper in my word, and then I met my wife. So
Like
it's,
you're
it's,
saying,
do it,
the
yeah.
steps, the ingredients are there.
yeah,
We know
and
that.
it's really
Mhm.
important,
And that kind of answers what I asked you guys when I said, what do you know for sure?
Mhm.
And that's something that you can definitely stand on, because that's his word, like you said,
That's right.
it doesn't change.
Exactly.
And to be
God's promise is
just
true.
real about it, because we've taken these steps, because we have done all this intentional development, and we've gone through struggle together in this relationship, right? When I say I do to this woman,
Mhm.
there is no doubt in my mind that she's the one that I'm supposed to be with for the rest of my life. I am
Exactly.
sure as I sure can get,
Mhm.
because we've done all this work, and I love that. And I love
She's
it.
your real.
Mhm. Yes, she is.
Let me let me go some. So on Mondays I do Monday Manhood Moments, right?
Mhm.
And yesterday I incorporated, and this didn't come from me; it came from someone else. But I was borrowed it. But the word husband, right?
Mhm.
What does husband mean to you?
It means being a supporter, a provider, a partner, a leader.
Okay.
Mhm.
And I believe in those same characteristics as well. So I'm gonna break it down into this cool acronym, right? So the H in husband is for helper, right?
Mhm.
So you want to be able to, even though God created woman to be a helpmeet for us,
Mhm.
men. I mean, it's it's a partnership. It's a covenant, and it's a oneness. So you have to help each other out, right?
Mhm.
The U is for understanding. You have to be able to understand your wife, or in this case, your fiance. So this is really critical and important in this stage of your relationship, because if you're not understanding her right now, and I know you guys say you're going through the 5 love languages and all, so you understand at least what her love languages are, how to speak to her, how to react in her certain situations and all. But you really, once you put the ring on, you really have to, because we change,
Yeah.
and we change all the time. Whether you're maturing or whether you're regressing or whatever the case is, you're changing all the time. The S, you want to be a servant to your wife. I mean, I don't mean to sound like we're being weak by submitting ourselves to our wives, but that's not that. What I'm talking about is what God has put together. So there's no weakness in that at all. So of course, Jesus came here, and what did he say? I didn't come here to be served. I came here to serve. So if this is your rib, if this is your your all in all, that way she's going to serve you, because that's her nature. Women, you have that mothering and nurturing instincts. So we have to be able to serve as well, right? Where am I? B.
B.
Believe in her, right? So when you believe in her, you're believing in her dreams. You're believing in the things that she feels are important, right? Not just what you think are important, but what she thinks is important as well. even if you don't agree, you talk about the areas where there's some disparity and all, and then you come to some type of common agreement. All right.
Yeah.
So agree.
Agree. You're doing great. You're doing great.
Yeah. And the A in husband is always be looking out for her best interest. Give her the C word. Give her the C word. Give him the C word because this is going to be so important. What's your favorite word? I was talking about when we pray. Covering.
Covering. Okay. Yeah. I'm like, okay. Awkward.
Literally, we're going
You're
through the
doing your
same
thing.
thing.
Yes.
I don't know what you
We're
want
the
me to
same
say.
way,
I said you say it all the time. Exactly. So the thing is that you always are looking out for her best interest. So when we were talking a couple shows ago, we were talking about communicating and learning how to communicate with your spouse. And part of the thing is that you never want to criticize your spouse, this man or woman. You don't want to criticize. You can you can complain about things that are going on. You keep leaving the toilet seat up, you keep leaving your drawers on the floor, whatever the case is, right? Those are complaints. But when you start criticizing them, then it's personal.
Yeah.
And you don't. That's an attack, and that's something you always hear. People say, "Well, I'm gonna shut up now because I don't want to say something I'm gonna regret." So you don't want to get into that point where you're criticizing anyone, right? And where did I leave off? The D. Yeah.
You're the end.
Almost. Actually, I did forget. So believe in her dreams. Always be looking out. I'm sorry. The N was never criticized. Jeez. And then the D is do not, and I repeat, do not let the devil in at all costs. That's where, when there's any vulnerability or any, just a little space in that, that door is open, the enemy will creep in, and you don't want that messing with your marriage,
Make up before going to bed, all that stuff. Never leave your bed. Now I'm just mama. No matter how mad you get, you turn over or whatever. Make sure you leave your bed.
That's real.
Yeah, don't sleep on the couch. Even if she say toss the pillows and stuff like that. Pay for this bed. That's what I am.
It's not the
That's what I am. So. But anyway, take that acronym to heart, because it's really applicable in any marriage. So I know I'm facing away from the camera, but because I'm talking to them directly. But again, you can use that in any marriage. If you guys got any comments or you want to talk about it, or you disagree, give us a call, 346-320-2103. So you guys want to keep going a little bit more, or you want, because we're at the break time?
Yeah, we are at the break. You want to keep coming?
It's up to y'all.
Other than drivers.
Go ahead, babe.
I'm just trying to think.
Guess we go.
I just want to know, what has been the most surprising thing to you on this journey, would you say? I mean, you planned for, you got your counseling, and what would you say has been the most surprising, something that you didn't expect? And also, too, if I may add, congratulations, they just purchased a home. So,
Yay! Now I wish I got that little sound. Did you bring your sound box?
I know the clouds inside.
I found we were at Target the other day.
Yeah, all the different.
And I picked up this little red box. I saw it from a distance. I walked over and I just started pushing buttons, and it was all the little parade. And you know what? Not that I'm cheap, but
Must be.
I'm frugal.
Yes.
And I was like, I'm not paying $20 for this.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'll wait till I see it cheaper or look at it, find it on
You can find
Amazon.
on Amazon.
So I'm like,
But you
yeah.
guys, you have the home built?
Mhm.
Yes.
Oh,
We did. So
Yeah,
that was a
smell, that
process.
smell is
Oh,
wonderful.
jeez. Oh, man, I love the smell. I love the
Yes.
smell.
New house
New
smell.
house. Oh, man.
New house smell.
Yeah.
But no, honestly, I mean, in this throughout this whole experience, and as much as you planned and you wanted to be on point and you dotted I's and crossed T's, what has really surprised you about this venture that kind of it's an aha moment?
I mean, the biggest difference that was surprising to me throughout this, you go through the honeymoon phase of being all super, super duper duper nice to each other and everything's all perfect and everything. And then what surprised me is how differently we fight and how I kind of touched on it earlier and understanding how to accept each other's ways of doing things. I want to talk everything out right then and there. Like, let's talk it out.
Yeah.
Let's do it so we can move forward and go on to the next thing. He needs his space. He wants to take his time. He's like, I don't know. And I'm like, tell me how you feel. Tell me. And so sometimes I'm having to pull it out of him, and eventually he'll get there. Or I'm just like, all right, I'll give you your space. And then I'm still like anxiously like, come on, talk to me. So that was surprising figuring out, and we still are every single day figuring out how is it that we can balance between the two and what makes sense to fight about versus what can we just drop.
Pick your battles. Pick your
Picking
battles.
those battles.
If I may
it's tough.
fall back on whatever you learn in counseling.
Yeah.
And if you didn't learn it, you give us a call. We can run you through a couple things there.
Mhm.
So yeah, you know what? And actually, it's always a little bit differently. Guys, we just want to get it over with and
Yeah.
rip the Band-Aid off and so it can be over.
There are a lot of unconventional things.
Sometimes
Roles reversed.
Yeah, well, typically, I'm just saying, typically.
Yeah. No, we
Because
definitely-
normally the woman will want to keep bringing it up over and over and over and over. See?
They sound like I'm like, you got something to say.
I didn't say any name. I said typically the woman.
Alrighty.
Yes.
So anyway, but so that's good. So what advice? Because again, you guys are unconventional. You're not like most people that are getting married, and I say most because we don't know everyone out here. And all, we have a lot of secret watchers and things, so we don't know who's going through what or who's applying what to their marriage. And this is great. So you guys had the foundation of Christ from an early age. What I heard, which is what I typically don't hear in most cases, and especially the both of you, is that you both come from 2-parent households,
Mhm.
which
That's huge.
Very-
that's
Makes a
huge.
very big difference.
Yeah.
I really think it does.
Yeah. And then, you both had perfect examples of marriage to model after, which is great because, again, that's one of the first questions that we ask on our assessment, is, tell me what your family, your childhood looked like. Were your parents married? If they weren't, and then we go into a lot of different things.
And we also believe that your marriage is your children's classroom.
Mhm.
So that's
Exactly.
something to think about.
I like that.
That's quotable.
Yes,
Mhm.
it is.
Yeah.
Mhm.
So what can you guys give millennials your age, something to hang their hat on?
The main thing is being true to who you are and not settling for things that aren't what you want.
So if
And-
someone isn't saved
Mhm.
or they weren't brought up in the church, and being true to who they are is being a thug or being
Well,
something.
but I think in all of these things, people are searching for something,
Okay.
and we often compromise things for acceptance.
Mhm.
And that's one of the things here is we're uncompromising about what it is that we want and need at the core, right? And so for us, that's a really
We
big
say
deal.
that we're laughing because what's your mission statement? What are your core values? What are you
What's your
not going to
map look
stand
like,
for?
baby? Let me see
You know?
your map.
Exactly. Show me your receipts. What's going on here?
Yes,
We're-
yes,
Man, did we birth them?
yes.
My child.
Man, you guys talk that, and believe me, we weren't always like this.
Yeah.
I mean, and this is a process. And,
So to get it at this time, you guys
Yeah.
really hit it out
Mhm.
the park.
Yeah, and like I said first, we both come from previous marriages, so we're doing it right now because not through osmosis, but really through stopping,
Yeah.
breaking generational curses,
Mhm.
getting deeper into the Word, and understanding what it is, why God put us together in the first place, what's our purpose, and how do we
Choosing his way over our own.
exactly, and how do we
That's it.
stand together in that purpose,
Mhm.
making sure our purposes, align with each other, and then align with what God wants us to do,
Yeah.
and then that's where we end up the way we are.
And we serve one
Yeah.
another too. I think, one of the things, and that's why when he was saying, the C word, I'm thinking, no, it's the S word. It's the S word. And the S word is sow what you want to see.
Yeah.
What you want to see in Dexter, you sow it, Chelsea.
Mhm.
And what you want to see in her, you sow it first.
Mhm.
Take that leap of faith. Show God, I will sow what it is that I need from her. Instead of, I need this from you. Instead of demanding it, sow it. We know, sow
Yeah.
and reap. Sow
That's
it.
right.
Exactly.
That's real.
Exactly.
That's right.
So we are we're gonna, since we're on the roll here, we're gonna go ahead and get into our question of the day.
Yeah, we got a good question today.
So, and this is from a fiance, called, premarital couple here, the woman's perspective. So I'll read the question. I am excited that I'm getting married, but my soon-to-be husband is already bossing me around and starting to have me cut off my friends and even some family members that he feels, and in parentheses, I believe, are a threat to him. I love him, and he says that he's just trying to protect our marriage before it gets started. But I think that it'll only get much worse. Again, I love him, and I don't want to leave him. So what do I do? By the way, this is both of our first marriage. And I think you got something to say, because
She's
she was crying and she moved the mic in front of her. What you got for us?
To me, it seems like that is the epitome of what
Narcissism.
insecurity looks like.
Insecurity,
Yes.
narcissism,
All of the above.
controlling.
All of the above. And people tell us this all the time, and I believe it to be the case. Whoever that person is, to the core,
Mhm.
whoever that person is before the marriage, that's who they're going to be once you're
What-
married.
What did our favorite poet, Maya Angelou, what did she say?
Oh,
Yeah, when people show you who they are.
Believe him.
Believe him.
yes. So him trying to have you cut off friends and
Mhm.
family members, and
Family.
I know, right? That's gonna be his family.
I wish I would
Exactly.
tell Chelsea she couldn't
Right,
hang out with
right,
some
all
folk.
well, I mean, you can help me and guide me, and maybe I'm not seeing something in my life
Yeah.
that, as an outside, unbiased perspective, you need to be able to see and helping me through that. But at the same time, it shouldn't be a cutoff. It should be especially with family,
Mhm.
friends. Friends do come and go at
I don't
times.
know, though. There's some ratchet family members. Though.
That's true. That.
Now,
doozies in our family.
yeah, now I didn't blame him on that one, because I got to thinking when I was reading the letter, I'm like, you might have,
She might need to look at herself.
Uncle Willie,
and figure
that
out,
this is a trip.
Thankful I have my own family.
Yes.
Yeah, we both
Both
love our
sides.
in-laws. Yeah.
Yes.
Yes.
But I mean, I get what you're saying, Chelsea, especially if it's like a healthy, like beware something's not
Right.
healthy.
Mhm.
But not
just-
because you should be helping me out through that process. It shouldn't be you need to cut this person off, then you cut that person
Yeah.
off, and control the situation.
Well, because that's his nature, though.
Right.
I mean, just reading what she said, and we don't know the backstory, we don't know
I
his
know, show
story,
me the backstory.
but just knowing what she said, anytime you start cutting, you're not even married yet, and I don't even know how long they've been together, engaged and all. But the thing is, as soon as you start showing those behaviors, that didn't just pop up. Hey, I woke up, I'm a narcissist.
No, but you know what, too? I have seen it over time in people's marriages and girlfriends and things like that. And it really, it starts to feed resentment. And
Yes.
that can fester and grow and be a runaway train in a marriage. And because I think that control is the main thing here. I think that's the objective. And so once you're controlling that, then it's like you want more and you want more. And anybody that's a control freak is a control freak.
But,
Yeah.
And so they start controlling more. Next thing you know, it's like, why are you wearing that?
Mhm.
But
Oh,
and
no,
it just
no. I know you're not wearing that.
Right. That
You think
kind of
you're
stuff.
going with that?
Right. And so that just, it gets bad. And it can even, this is domestic violence awareness.
Yes.
These are
Yeah.
things, you know,
Those
that,
are precursors to
yes, it is, and
the
that's emotional.
isolation. Yep.
That can be emotional. It doesn't have to just be.
Right.
I mean, the mind.
And,
You know, I mean, emotional
it's,
abuse
it's
is
definitely
bad.
abuse because that's one of the symptoms. When you start cutting off family
Yes, it
members
does.
and friends
Ostracizing, yeah.
from that person, where you can only talk to them or you want to maintain,
That's one
who control or who they speak with or who they interact with. Yeah.
I would be curious to see or know what her family thinks about him.
Right.
Mhm.
What are her closest friends and family saying? Are they saying the same thing? Like, I would be very curious to see what the flip side is.
But so she talks about, I love him and I don't want to
She
leave
says that
him.
more than once too. Like, love is just this. Like,
Yeah. I mean, first of all, you don't
Wait,
get married.
yeah.
I'm gonna say this in the mic. You don't get married because you love someone.
Yeah.
That is not the reason to get married.
Yes.
Because love is that unless it's totally agape love.
Mhm.
I mean, love is an emotion that can come and go.
Yes.
I disagree with that a bit. I think, and from what I've learned,
It's the first time we had this.
sorry.
Go ahead.
and we've just finished a month or so ago a series at our church called Love, Sex, and Marriage, and one of the sessions he talks about love, and the true essence of love is it goes far beyond emotion. It's the work, right?
Mhm.
And when you demonstrate love, it is, like y'all have been saying, service,
Mhm.
and it's not
It's
conditional.
unconditional.
It's not
yeah.
conditional.
But that's what I said. I said unless it's an agape love.
Yeah.
Those other type, the phileo love, the eros, and all that. I mean, that stuff fades.
Yeah.
And that was my point.
Mhm.
Unless it's an agape love, which is the love that God gives, has for all of us.
Yeah.
All the other loves are really not relevant at all.
Mhm.
Or I
That's great.
sometimes say, I love you, but do I like you?
Yeah.
And it's like, you gotta, it's beyond that. It's all those things that you already
And you know what? Really and truly, in marriage, there's the ebbs and the flows.
Mm-hmm.
And I mean, you think, am I going to be in love as I was on the day that I got married? Like, probably not. But you know what? It may not ever be that, but it doesn't mean that it can't be better. There will be those times where it's like, because you're going to be so much for each other.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
And so many times you're a best friend, and so many times you're going to be her big brother. You're going to be, her protector. I mean, her provider. I mean, there's going to be so many different roles that you guys play with each other. There'll be times you're his nurture. You'll be like his sister. I mean, you think of the songs, I want to be your sister, your brother. Well, I mean, it's really, you will be everything.
Yep.
Yeah, I didn't know if I was going to say friends. I didn't know. But really and truly, but really and truly, but really and truly, it was a door. But anyway, really and truly, there will be different times because in sickness and in health, there'll be things because at your age and you guys are going for forever, there'll be different things that you see. And it's going to require different parts of you to step up for you.
Yeah.
And so with that, it's going to be good times, and it's going to be times that's going to really test you. But that is what the love is built on. That's what marriage is built on. And so just wanting to sow that and be committed to that charge, being committed to that charge is the love itself, because that's the patient, that's the kind, that's the long suffering. That covers every single one of those roles that you both will.
And that's actually what what I teach when I'm talking to men about. You need to love your wife like God loves you in the fruit of the Spirit. My wife was just mentioning, love, joy, peace. You need to have all those different characteristics of God built into your marriage. Because if you don't, then you can't say that your marriage is based on a foundation of God.
Well, it's limited, and it should be limitless.
Yeah, exactly. And in this case here, a marriage shouldn't be a prison sentence. She's already given up her freedom,
That's real.
giving up her control already. I mean, she had the gall to step up and say, okay, the courage. Let's say
And that's good, because she knows something's wrong with that.
Yes.
but she's still in it though. She knows something's wrong, but she's still, but I love him,
And
What's love got to do with it though?
but also just because you're engaged, that doesn't mean that that's
Exactly.
it all be all.
And we say all the time, everybody's not husband material, and everybody's not wife material. You know, and with that, you know, this definitely isn't husband material. He has a lot to learn.
They need counseling. I mean, there's
Well,
no
definitely
word
need
of God in
counseling.
that, no counsel, no
Never.
nothing.
Nothing.
She's just,
Nothing.
they're just
Nothing.
dog peddling as far as I'm
Yeah.
concerned, treading water. You
Yeah.
know?
And you hear us all the time, you know, on our shows, we always talk about boundaries. You know, where are the boundaries in this? You know,
Yeah.
okay, I can see if I had, you know, and I'm speaking as if I'm her.
Yeah.
I can see if I had some male friends, you don't want me to associate with them anymore.
Right.
Fine. But my family members,
Yeah.
you know, and you know, and the thing is, and again, we don't know the backstory, but you know, you're not giving me a reason. You're just saying you ain't talking to your mom no more. You know,
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, you
I
have
use
to
that
wonder about
vernacular,
his
but that's how
friendships.
it
is.
Like, what's his
But-
life look like?
Right,
too?
right. So that's a
Friendships,
big
family.
deal too. And then that part she says, and she said, I believe, but that these family members might be a threat to her
Mhm.
or to him,
To him.
right?
Yeah.
And then
Yeah.
he's just trying to protect their marriage before it even begins. It's like that. What is it about you
Mhm.
that's posing a red flag
To
for the
him.
people who know her best,
Mhm.
right?
Yeah.
And so
Sure.
is there
That's
something
it.
else you need to be reflecting on there that you're not even paying attention to?
Right.
Yeah, and it could be a situation where, I mean, you know, we all got on those family members that are all up in your business and stuff, you know, and maybe that was the case. I mean, you know, we're giving him a bad rap,
Right.
Yeah.
There are predators out there, though. Don't take it lightly. There
Yeah.
are predators.
but
out there.
you know, we're giving him a bad rap. But you know, there are family members. Let's say, you know, she comes from, you know, she has sisters, right? And you always got that, excuse me, when that big mouth sister that's just gonna, you know, I don't care. Ain't no man telling me what to do. All this, you know,
Yeah.
and he might not want you around. That's toxic.
Yeah.
You know,
It could be. It
she's
could
not,
be.
you know, she may not be married or whatever, but she's telling you how to be married and how to run your relationship and things. So, I mean, again, I mean, this, as we delve into it, like my wife likes to say, peel back the onion layers, onion skin, and all. As we look at it, it's like, well, maybe he is right, because we do know people that are, you know, that exhibit these particular traits here, or you know, whatever. But and then again, I can see if the girl had guy friends,
Yeah.
and you know, and he was like, I'm cutting this off now.
Yeah.
You know?
You
So
know,
we just don't know.
I think that what she
Might be
needs to
saying
do
this.
as a woman, because this is her family and her friends, I understand her writing in, but there's almost like a fear, it's an undertone to this. And it's like, you've got to be able to express yourself. You get married, you don't
Yeah.
have somebody there always sticking up for you and fighting for you, and you know, and you're a spokesperson. You're gonna have to speak up for yourself. And so what you need to do is you need to ask him, I need you to break it down to me. And maybe all you have is what you gave us. Maybe there is a backstory and you just didn't share because you didn't want people to be like, yeah, so and so. But my point
That's why we don't give out any
we're
names.
not
or
mocking
anything.
you, sweetheart. We're not mocking you by any means. But you're gonna have to be a big girl if you're getting married. And you're gonna have to have that discussion with him, and you're gonna have to ask him, get the facts. Who in my family? What are you saying? Give me direct. What experience have you experienced in my family that I'm not aware that's got you feeling this way? Let's handle this
Yeah.
together.
Yeah.
And you're gonna have a united front. So that means maybe you'll have to go to your family together. But the main thing is that you want to communicate about this. You don't want to talk to others and be, approach it lightweight. You're gonna have to stand up as a woman and have the hard conversation.
Exactly.
Yep.
So to get a little clinical with this, not just standing up as a woman and having those conversations, but you also have to set expectations for your marriage. And that's something that, I mean, I don't.
That is part of it. That
Definitely,
is setting
They didn't
it,
go to
'cause it's
premarital
like-
counseling,
Oh,
but
right.
you definitely need to set expectations in your marriage for what you want your marriage to look like, for these types of situations where you have one person dominating the relationship. I mean, you're not getting, like I said at first, this isn't a prison sentence. This is a marriage, and you want your marriage to be wholesome, be of God, and all. And unfortunately, expectations are really funny too, because people can have expectations and not even realize that they're breaking one. if I had an expectation for her, to cook, we just got married, and because she started out cooking, now I'm coming home from work and I'm like walking in the house going, I don't smell anything. What's up, And then this happens a couple times. But this happens a couple times, and now I'm like, hold on, there's food in the fridge, there's food in the cabinets, what's going on here? But that was an expectation that wasn't established at the beginning. Who's going to cook? Are you going to cook Monday, Wednesday, and Friday, and I'll cook Tuesday and Thursday, and then we go out Saturday and Sunday? I mean, that needs to be established. So again, call a writer. You need to sit down with him and come up with some expectations. Now, for your marriage. So we actually do an exercise with our couples. So what you need are just really simple. Each one of you get 3 sheets of paper and 2 pens or 2 pencils. And individually, what I want you guys to do, and even if you're married, you can do this exercise. Or if you're thinking about getting married or you're engaged, you can do this
Or if you're in a
exercise.
renewal part of your marriage where you're empty nesters now and you're going forward, how we're going to do this.
Yeah. So what you do, each one of you, don't let each other see what you're writing, but write down what your ideal marriage looks like. This could be fairy tale or whatever, write down on a sheet of paper, do about a list of 10, it shouldn't be any more than 10, 15, but do a list of what you want your marriage to look like, your ideal marriage. This could be something you see on TV, whatever. All right. After you finish, take a look at your list side by side, do a cross-reference there. Check off anything that you guys have thought about that are the same. So if you both said, you want to have 5 children, that's a check. Why don't you guys look at each other like that?
I want 5 kids.
You want 5 and he doesn't?
I want 5 kids.
I did not know that. I did not know that before I said that. So, but anyway, check off everything that you guys have that are either the same or in the same ballpark, similar. All right. Then I want you guys to start a brand new list, but this one I want you to do it together, right? So on this list, you're going to take all the ones that you had, that were either similar or the same, add that to your new list. But then from that point on, you create what your ideal marriage should look like, right? Put the expectations in there and everything, right? Don't put in stupid stuff. I want to have 3 Benzes and 15 houses or whatever. Put in realistic things.
Yeah.
You can always do that when you're doing your vision, because, well, I'm going to create this company, and this company is going to net me this amount in profits here, and I'm going to be able to afford this, and this. That's how you do that. Yeah. Create a vision board for that. Talk about your initial stages of your marriage. Create what you want your ideal marriage to look like. And then, first you did it individually because you're, in this case, we're talking about premarital couples here. So you did it individually, and then you combined it just like you got married. So now you're one. So now you're writing down what those expectations and what those qualities of your ideal marriage should look like. Okay. Once you complete that, use that as your guideline. Don't just look at the paper and throw it away. Don't just look at it, throw it in a photo album or whatever for good, whatever. Take a look at it often to make sure that you're adhering to what you've written down, because it's important. Because just like you said, hey, we fighting here, but you were just lovey-dovey, 10 minutes ago, and where did all this come from? And then you have to think about what did the counselor say, to bring it back to to ground zero, so you guys can start on an even plane here. But the thing is that you have to, and that's just an exercise that we do, right? And with that, it really. It not only brings you together, but it brings you on one accord.
Yes.
Yeah, it really does.
Yes. Agreement.
Yeah.
No, it does. It brings you into agreement, and now you have something again. You have something to refer to. Just like I was saying, now you had the Bible as your manual. Now you have this to go to because it's like, hey, it's right here. You said it too. Aren't we working on this?
Yep.
You know, what we're gonna do is start working on
Hold
this.
each other accountable.
Yes, an accountability.
I forgot to say that.
Sure. No,
Yeah, hold each other
absolutely. And
accountable.
so, and it kind of gives you a compass and a direction. So, you know, that helps. I'm a firm believer in partnership. And I mean, just like my husband and I have this marriage counseling business, this feeds our marriage. It feeds it. It doesn't starve it. It feeds our marriage. And so I don't care if you're doing home improvement in your house and you're putting in new floors and, you know, in the baby's room or the kids' room. That's a partnership. That is something you buy in together. You come in agreement and you work toward a common goal together. Gardening, same thing. Anything, painting, you know, painting project, any type of project, you really are strengthening your marriage because that's your unity. That's your unity, and it's also quality time.
So leave a couple rooms unconstructed.
Right.
And
Right.
you have a couple projects to work on
Oh,
together.
paint this room. Yeah.
Oh, yeah, for sure. For sure.
So man, so that was good. I hope that we covered. If you're listening, Ryder, I hope that we covered some key points here with you and for you. And again, we don't know the full story, so by not having all the details, we can only kind of surmise from what your letter entailed, but we addressed it from both sides.
And I also think that, you know, before you talk with your spouse, you pray.
I was just
You
going to
know,
say,
your
you
fiance
have to.
about it.
You pray and you pray first,
Mhm.
and then ask him if you two can pray together before you talk. Just say, let's pray together, and
Yeah.
set the tone and invite Christ in before you actually have that hard conversation with him. Because you know, I hope it won't be difficult. I hope that he'll be able to express to you exactly where he's coming from, and that he's not a narcissist and he's not controlling. This is just a misunderstanding. That is my hope. But nevertheless, you always want to pray first because you want to bring God into the atmosphere and you want him to dwell with you.
Yes.
You definitely-
And if I can backtrack when you're doing that, because this is when your communicative skills come in. We didn't even touch on communications, but when you're bringing them together, you have to do it when you're addressing this with your fiance, you have to do it in a way that you're not accusing him
Yeah, it's loving.
or you have, yeah, exactly. You have to come from a loving point. Share the expectation in a way that he understands it and that it, you know, showing that it matters to you.
Yes.
Hey, you know, I love my sister or my cousin, whoever it is that's
My
being cut off.
mother, my
Yeah,
mother.
mother, father, whoever it is, you know, let them know how important that is to you so you guys can work on common ground on building it, right? Respect the expectations that you guys want to build on.
And be willing to have a conversation with your family if need be. If there is some way they made him feel uncomfortable or what have you, be willing to have those, you know,
Exactly.
again, those hard conversations. If it's the big girl, you're getting ready to go into something that is long lasting and it is huge, and that's why it's such a big deal, because it's a change of life. You're going
Yes.
into a next level.
Now, if you cannot come up to an agreement, then you have to negotiate what's best for your marriage, what's best for you guys getting together and resolving this issue. Okay, so you have to do that. So those 4 steps are, you know, really key in communicating what those expectations are. The exercise is good,
Mhm.
Oh, yeah.
you know.
Yeah, and I mean, honestly, not to just like plug and just a shameless plug here, but we have one of our videos on communication where it's just Tori and I.
No, a couple,
We also,
yeah.
and then we also have one on meddling in-laws. So check it
Interfering
out.
in-laws.
Interfering, sorry. So check them both out. That, you know, there may be some good tools in there that you
Yeah.
use.
So if you guys want, if you're on our page at I Forever Will, just go to our videos. The dates might be old, but the content is very relevant.
And it's got a lot of views too. I think both of them.
Yeah, a lot of views. Yeah. So once again, we want to thank Team McCoy for joining us.
Yay!
Thanks for
Yes.
having us.
Yes.
You're welcome. Congratulations on your nuptials.
Yes.
And when's the date again?
December 31st.
New
Woo!
Yes.
New Year's Eve.
That's so
Man.
romantic.
You can
Right.
go watch the ball drop in New York. You can, you know, have New Year's Eve watch party. Not watch party. Watch night.
Mhm. Watch
You
it.
know.
Yep.
So I mean, just so many things around that date.
Yeah.
And if you just want to
Never
spend it
boring.
alone,
Yep.
Good.
That's right.
So,
Yeah.
Good stuff.
wow.
So, yeah. Thanks
So-
for having us.
You're welcome. So, guys, we didn't get any comments now. I can't believe this. Phone didn't ring or whatever. Guys, this is an interactive show.
That's okay.
So, yeah, I know it's
Some
okay.
people like to remain anonymous. I get you now. I see it. I see it. And that's okay. I just hope that you're getting the content. You know, I hope that we're helpful. That is the main thing. And not only that, tell a friend. You know,
Yeah.
like share it with somebody because somebody can use this. Even if you're like, oh, okay, I was informative and you're cooking or whatever you're doing.
Mhm.
But somebody could really use this. And so I ask that you share a friend. So from that, I'm going to ask you, even though you didn't comment, and I see there's some of you on here, if you could please like it before you sign off. As we're coming to the end, if you could just like it and share it with someone, we really appreciate it.
Yeah. So keep those marital and relationship questions coming in.
They're good.
Send they're good. So send them via email to us at ifwcmc1@gmail.com. Visit our website at iforeverwill.com. It's a lot of good information on there as well.
Plus you get to see them, the cutie guys. The cutie guys.
We have a couple of pictures on there. And also with our website, so if you're a business, whether you're in weddings or put it like this, everybody that's married, everybody that's engaged, we eat, we sleep, we do anything. So whatever type of business that you have, we have a buyer's guide section on there. So we're looking for people to add to the buyer's guide listings.
Promote your business.
You want to promote your business, we can do it here on our show. As you know, not just a Facebook Live show, but we're also global. We're in 17 different countries.
Yes.
And, in Houston alone, we have an audience viewership of over 300,000. So keep up the letters. I mean, keep doing what you're doing. But I know there's some entrepreneurs out there. I know there's some business owners out there. If you guys want us to talk about your your business, if you want us to promote a book or anything, give us a call or send us an email. Just go to our website, click on the chat with us section, and we'll receive that as well. So, we're looking forward to receiving that. Don't forget, October 29th at Sugars, we will be there, and it's all about Domestic Violence Awareness Month. So we want to fill the house. We want to talk about it. If you have a story to tell, if you have a testimony, please show up. Please show up. Tell your story.
We also
Okay.
have a guest that night too. Who's the gentleman that's we got a lot. We got a panelist, but we've got the artist, the gospel rap artist.
Yeah, we got Jay Will. He's going to be
Yeah.
a Christian rapper. We have evangelist and author Carolyn Hunter, and her book is A Voice to a Victim. We also have Victim to a Voice. I'm sorry. And then we also have Mark and Marie Smith with Live 24/7. And then we have Pastor Pastor Severin, Derwin Severin. So come on out. We're gonna have a good time. And we got Pastor Chris and the Dream that are MC.
They're MC.
They're
We got our
MCing.
DJ, so yeah, it'll be a lot of fun.
Yeah.
It's good.
Yes. So don't forget also to keep your radio stations online. Tune to Gospel Radio Nation. It's after 10 o'clock right now, so you can worship while you sleep all night long. Okay. So just closing out here once again, you can join my wife on Thursday nights for Proverbs 31 Thursday, where she's uplifting women.
And I want to say something about this. I know you guys are like, Terry, where have you been? Here's the thing. We are at a new church home, and that new church home has Bible studies on Thursday nights. So I don't want to change it because I like Proverbs 31 Thursday. I think that's not. But I may have to maybe pre-record or something. I don't know. But I'm going to work it out because I do miss doing it. And there's been a lot of things that have been happening that has been giving me content, to really share with you all. And just woman things, awareness of things as a woman that all women can use. So bear with me. I'm coming. We've been crazy busy. We just had a show right before we got here. So that proves it. You guys know we've been crazy busy.
Yeah.
And our brother-in-law got married over the weekend, so we were out of town for that. So yeah, it's just, yeah. Shout out to Team Alexander. Hey, you guys.
Yeah.
You're like Dave Williams now.
Emmanuel and Pamela Alexander.
Yes.
They are 3 days in, 4 days in.
3 days, Saturday, Sunday.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Whatever. I can't do math.
But
And
anyway,
also,
congratulations again.
we want to also mention Fight Like a Girl this weekend, October 12th from 8:30 to 4:30 p.m. It's a community event hosted by Lady Gail Johnson. And there's going to be speakers. Go tell them. It's a women's
Yeah,
event.
they're gonna provide clothing and basically like styling women. So there's makeup and hair, and you're giving them clothing and purses and jewelry. Just a really nice event to uplift women, speakers, guest speakers, and all. So yeah, did you have the address or?
Oh, I'm sorry. I don't have my glasses. So the address is 312 North 6th Street in LaPorte, Texas. You can register at www.stopbythehill.org. That's STOPBYTHEHILL.org. Or you can go to eventbrite.com and put in Fight Like a Girl. So we love you guys. We're gonna pray. We're gonna pray us out here, and we pray to see you guys next Tuesday night for another episode of Marriage Talk Tuesdays.
Yeah, thanks for joining us. Don't forget to like and share. We love you guys. Enjoy the rest of your week. God bless you.
Dear Heavenly Father, in the precious name of our Lord and Savior Jesus Christ, Lord, we thank you for this opportunity once again to educate and teach your people, oh Lord, on the importance of the foundation of Christ in each and every covenant out there. When I say covenant, I mean marriage and even engagement, oh Lord. So we just thank you, oh Lord. We thank you for our guests tonight,
Yes.
Team McCoy, and we just pray that they're going to have they already have the most successful engagement period I've ever seen, but probably the most successful marriage as well, Lord. So we ask for a blessing to be over their marriage, a blessing to be over all the marriages for the for our audience and those that listen and write into us, oh Lord. We just want a blessing over all of their marriages tonight. So we ask all of this in the precious name of our Lord and Savior Jesus Christ, and we all say amen.
Amen.
All right.
Thank you.
Thank you guys.
Thank you.
As always, we love you with the love of Christ.
Bye.
Bye-bye.